Hey, everybody, and welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. And most of all, thank you for who you are, for being who you are, for allowing yourself to be exactly who you are. Too many people are too scared to be that. And they tell me. And I don't understand why they would tell me. Why people are so scared to say what's on their minds. Be careful with me, though, because if you play this game with me, who else do you play it with? Hi, I am Mike the Man, the one and only, and I'm going to now play something Simon has sent to me, and it is an excerpt from the A Balance channel, and where he is going to, well, it's a small compilation of Janie's speeches, rants, droppings. Janie's droppings. How about that? It's nastily lyrical.
Then you guys can go back and look at the answers because I'm not going to be here all night answering all your questions over again. I'm sorry. I'm getting older by the minute.
I'm getting older. How old are you? 60? Okay. Well, she said the wobbling when she walks is like an alcoholic walk. I don't know about that. Wouldn't surprise me. She's playing on everything that she may be suffering from. At least portray herself as a sufferer. She's a sufferer, people. It's always going to be about her. It's always about her suffering, not doing well, aching, need. Remember what Malaya said? She always comes, she needs her, bandages changed. Or, you need to help me, I'm an old woman. She no, that was it Summer Wells? Maybe I'm mixing them up. The grandest thing. By the way, who said Grandest killed Summer Wells? Who came up with that? I'm just, wondering. Uh, I'm really wondering. I'm not gonna watch that video, but if you can tell me why you think so in your own words, of course I'm going to read it. I'm going to want to know more about it. But if I read it, I need to see within your writings that you believe it. And I've said this to quite a few people where I have pointed out they sent me videos from other people as I don't know what to call it. Check this out. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Well, you're the one who messages me, so tell me what you think happened. Tell me what would make sense. You see, if you're saying something like, "Oh, Grandis, yeah, she unalived somewhere else," because, and I don't care who says it, doesn't make a difference. I said it before. Sometimes the best interviewers are the worst analysts, and a lot of times, me being an analyst does not necessarily mean that I'm going to be able to get the interviews with the types of people whom I want to know or hear more from. Doesn't mean that at all. Of course, I don't know if it wasn't for people who try very hard to get these interviews quickly, and they have, of course, their approach that's already convincing these types of folks. So when they approach a bunch of trailer parkers who happen to have some information, they already start by telling them what they want to hear or what they think, or have learned that people like that, in their opinion, may want to hear. And it's a very simplistic approach. It's a very cringy approach when Chris McDonough speaks with Hunter's family. It's very, very cringy. And the language is so it is so well, we know the intention, of course. He wants these people to open up and them not to know that they are incriminating themselves and well, or that they are pointing the fingers at somebody without intending to. You see, you have somebody like Hunter who doesn't want to tell police, who had a talk with Candace. Candace called him, and I'm very certain that she said, "Do not talk about this, do not talk about that, and do not talk about that other thing either." But she forgot to mention the alcohol. She forgot to mention to him not to say uh, anything about buying him alcohol. Or maybe she did mention it and he didn't think it was that important. Maybe he prioritized keeping quiet about something that is a little bit more significant. And Hunter, I would still love for you to talk. I would love for you to talk. Tell us more, Hunter. Tell us exactly what state Summer Wells was in. Tell us what Summer Wells' state was, what state she was in when she was in the car. I want to know that. I would love to know that, people. And now, but back to Jack and Lily. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna bring back a couple of Hunter videos soon. Stay tuned.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Look how soft her
I
voice is.
cannot say.
Look how soft her voice suddenly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Notice the voice change? Very, very drastic. When the top is Jack and Lily, her voice is harsh. Her voice is on edge. Her voice is aggressive. Some have said demonic. It's not a good voice.
The answers because I'm not going to be here all night answering all your questions over again. I'm sorry. I'm getting older by the minute. Thank you. I appreciate
Look how
that.
soft she gets.
I can look at the answers because I'm not going to be here all night answering all your questions over
Oh my
again. I'm
gosh.
sorry. I'm getting older by the minute. Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is voice acting, right?
I cannot say they were abducted by a stranger.
By
That's my opinion.
I did not say they were abducted by a stranger. Do not ignore this. Do not ignore hesitations. Do not ignore changes in patterns. Whenever there's a change in pattern, pay very, very close attention. When somebody stops himself, or the sentence takes a different direction, a different course, suddenly the sentence is becoming grammatically wrong or incorrect in general. Something's not right. Unless people have a pattern and habit of getting things mingled up to begin with. But when all of a sudden there's a hesitation, pay very close attention, people, because something is very, very, very wrong.
As I said, I lived here for 26 years. I know the traffic on this road. And I brought my kids up here. And Jack and Lily have lived here for 2 years. So I can't understand why it happened Friday.
Why it happened on Friday? Because it didn't happen on Friday. Isn't it interesting She adds Friday to this sentence. So, what was the original point of you saying this? So, I can't understand why it happened. Why what happened? What is it? How about I can't understand how these two children disappeared? That would make sense to me. I brought up my children. My children have been safe. My children have been running through the woods. My children have been crossing the street to run in the woods over there. My children have been out in a or out in a boot, and my children have been to the lake or the river, the stream at McLeod Bridge, where two of my brothers live. They went fishing there. You know what I'm getting at right now. Hear this one more time. Hear the whole thing, people. Listen to all of it.
Stranger. That's my opinion. As I said, I lived here for 26 years. I know the traffic on this road. And I brought my kids up here. And Jack and Lily have lived here for 2 years. So I can't understand why it happened Friday.
And the tone, why it happened Friday. After,
After them living here for 2 years.
and she wants to sell Friday because nothing happened on Friday. In the early morning hours, yes. Up until like before RCMP was called. That was the cleanup time. In the middle of the night, absolutely. If you're talking about the Friday, meaning the time starting from when people start their Friday, meaning getting up at whatever time people get up, nothing happened. Nothing happened there. And she is actually normalizing knowledge that nothing happened on Friday. There wouldn't be anything happening. But she's mentioning Friday because she wants to let you know this is the day I'm going to speak about. I'm not going to go into Thursday. I'm not going to go back any further than Friday. I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm going to actually avoid the whole thing altogether. Thursday had no detail. Remember how Daniel said that? Thursday had no detail. Talking about passive language, right? Avoiding to tell us what you did or didn't do on Thursday, what Malaya did or didn't do, and your mom, and her dog, or whoever dog that was. And what happened to Jack? No, just Thursday has no detail. Right. Oh my goodness.
And the way Malaya was acting, in my opinion, I feel
The way actor,
it was acting. It happened Friday, after them living here for 2 years. And the way Malaya was.
by the way, before she doesn't stumble, when she doesn't have something that she needs to slow down on, she doesn't stumble. She flows. She states it as it is. It flows, people. When she stops herself, there's a reason for that. This woman is not somebody who stops herself on a regular basis.
Acting, in my opinion, I feel like she knew what was going on.
I feel like she knew what was going on. The way she was acting, listen to the whole sentence. And the way Malaya was acting
in my opinion,
the way she was acting, that's what's referred to here. In my opinion,
I feel like she knew what was going on.
I feel like she knew what was going on. She didn't act as if she knew that something was going on. What do you mean, what was going on? You're supposed to tell me that she was acting as if she was aware that something else was going on. I feel like, not I think, I feel like the way that she was acting, and now she says, in my opinion. Does she usually say, in my opinion? Look how much minimizing is going into this particular sentence and this particular attempt of a statement, the way she was acting. In my opinion, only I feel like she knew what was going on. First, you need to go step by step and make us realize something here. They are not getting into anything specific. They keep it as vague as possible. And Darren Geddes has told us in the very beginning that, well, on that phone conversation, he said that Daniel told him, and he told the same thing to Logan. They come up with a storyline and they keep it extremely vague, people. They don't want to commit to anything. They don't want to put too much pressure on Malaya either. Why? Because then maybe law enforcement will interrogate them if they are making up too much. If they say, well, we heard a sound and we saw, or I saw. No, they will go right to her, and they're scared. They're scared of the truth. These people are afraid of the truth, which is known by them and Malaya at the same time. And these are really, really weird people, man. Because I can guarantee you, a lot of people, man, in that situation, in Malaya's situation, they would break down and say, you know what? Okay, what did they say? What? What? I'm gonna tell you the truth right now, and I want to keep my daughter Meadow. I want to keep her. But let me come clean. Well, I don't know. You know, I don't know. What do you think about this? I mean, I think that she, when she talked about pain and sorrow, she wrote them off. She had a grieving moment, and she got past it really, really quickly. Jack and Lily, yeah, shit happens, right? Let's focus on Meadow. Same with John and Patsy Ramsey. Well, what happened happened. What happened to John Benet happened, and yes, it was horrible. And no, that of course, I mean, it was. I'm not downplaying what the Ramseys went through, even though they were lying their asses off in public. So to protect Burke, that's why. And Patsy took it to her grave. And like her dying wish was for to that lawyer, please keep protecting Burke. And that lawyer, same lawyer, was there when they sued CBS for the documentary, The Case of John Benet Ramsey, which, in my opinion, is the only documentary worth watching on the case. The only documentary, guys. Nothing else. If you guys want to send me anything on John Benet Ramsey, make sure to watch on CBS The Case of John Benet Ramsey, and then watch my videos on John Benet Ramsey.
Once.
Once? Oh.
Feel like she knew what was going on. Once. Would I hear a car pull in my driveway where I live in the RV?
Your dog, or whatever dog was there, would hear it. Wait a minute, I got something here. Thank you.
No, I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, a dog started barking.
A dog started barking. A dog. Not my dog. A dog.
It depends. If it's a newer car.
No, really? In the driveway? Well, dogs tend to hear the silent cars too. If it's you.
Probably not.
Now, mind you, there's a big difference. Let me hear the question one more time that she got. What?
Would I hear a car pull in my driveway where I live in the RV?
So there are two ways to answer this one. You can be very technical and say, if it's a quiet car, I wouldn't hear it if it's very silent. And if it moves slowly and there is no sound of gravel or anything like that, I wouldn't notice. I may not notice, but somebody notices, and that dog is gonna make a hell of a noise. And I mean, Belinda told me that this one dog that was there did not stop barking.
It depends. If it's a newer car, probably not. But if they parked on the side of the road,
Janie, let me ask you a
I
question,
wouldn't
honey.
hear it.
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color, Janie? I'm so
Okay, he got this from the AB channel.
interested in you.
My dog
Girl who does your makeup.
alerts me when people come in my yard. So when he hears a voice,
He hears a voice. If he hears a car going over gravel, if he hears a car moving, a dog will pick up on that. He will hear it. Not just the voice.
he barks. I get up and I look.
That's why he was barking up a storm when the people were there.
See if anybody's there.
Look, I get up and I look to see if anybody's there. Very general, right? You mean always? You always do that?
My dog usually sits in the window. But that morning, my dog was sleeping with me in bed.
It doesn't matter when you have a dog sleeping. If there's movement in the yard and you say it's his property and he's protecting that yard, if a car approaches anywhere, you will see at least one of those ears, those dog ears, go up. You know what I mean? You ever see that when a dog is sleeping and suddenly there's a little bit of noise generated around the dog and these ears keep moving? And all of a sudden, the dog raises his head and whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, this story, this fabrication. And they found the right sucker to sell it, Durwood. And Durwood, by the way, he wants the action. He will keep keeping himself in the limelight. And I'm interested. I looked at him again for the reason that him putting disappearance into quotation mark tells us that either A, he knows what happened, B, he knows more than most people, or C, he thinks he knows more than most people. So when I went through his statements, I realized there's still nothing there. He doesn't have the real answers. He wants to project himself as having the answers, but he's also really, really careful, as he was with law enforcement. Whatever he said, he made sure not to sign as a sworn statement. So he had enough sense not to do that.
When he heard the kids yelling, or kids talking, I should say, sorry, talking, my
Oh,
dog was in bed with me, and I told him,
you told your dog you're having a conversation with him. Let's see how else the sentence can be formulated.
it's the kids outside playing. He shut right up.
Stop, Fluffy. What did he do first? Did he raise his head? You say, shh, shush, Fluffy?
Then he barked again when Daniel was yelling out the back door for the kids. I didn't.
Okay, when did that happen? When did that happen, Janie? You're mixing too many things together right now. You're cramming far too much into a Friday morning. And a lot of it is experiential memory from other times and especially from the night before. So it's sort of like you have a little Volkswagen buggy, if you guys remember those cars. Oh, what's a small car? A really small car. Well, you have to look at the European cars, right? Fiat Mini, some like that. And you have three different trucks and you have all kind of stuff on there and say, let's fit all of this crap into this little car because the others are rented and we need to give them back. And as much as possible, she's trying to cram into this Friday morning, guys. Friday morning had little detail. So she wants to make it appear as if Friday was just jam packed with action. Except you were tired, which you're usually not. What happened the night? Oh, you were raking, yes. Why were you raking, Janie? Why did you rake that night? I want to know from you, why did you rake that night? Can somebody please ask her? You guys are in all of these different chats. And whenever I see screenshots for the very For the most part, it's just stupid questions, and it enables her to get away with keeping it light. You see, this is why so much of what she's saying is tedious, because she's replying to things that she cherry picks. Same with Daniel Martel. He looks at questions that are about Malaya and he replies to that. So sometimes you need to make sure that the wrong people are not asking questions. Sometimes you have to make sure that certain people shut up and not censor people who may upset the person, but but tell people to make sure that the questions that they ask are not a waste. They don't enable somebody to practice avoidance, because that's exactly what's being done here. Her and Daniel pick the easy questions, the ones that they know they feel like, oh, I can flow on this one. I can answer it. It will flow right out of me. Too easy, too simple, too beautiful, too cool. That's what they pick. Janie is a little bit different though, guys, because Janie, if something, what did you write? If she sees something that upsets her, she's less likely to keep her mouth shut. I'm getting really upset. Yeah, and she's lying very, very directly, guys. The way she's lying means she can have made the statement right on tape for the whole world to hear. And guess what? No, I did not rake on Thursday night. She will take it right back. Same way she told Belinda. Belinda heard a dog, a big dog, a loud dog. She heard a sound from that trailer that did not come from Fluffy. Pay attention, people. Pay attention closely to the statements. Haley, yeah, she may know more, but you know what? When she read that poem, or whatever it was at the video, that was sincere. Cheryl didn't even speak. Haley, it's a different story, guys. She may know more than she's saying, and she may want to protect Malaya. However, people, make this very, very, very clear, okay? That's her relative. Those are her relatives, Jack and Lily. And same way Belinda spoke at that vigil. Let's look at it one more time. At the time, I didn't pay too much attention to it because of certain people that were involved. And but this is about the case, and I want to use this opportunity to share and to allow yourself to see certain things you need to allow yourself to see, because the answers are everywhere. It's always about what you pay attention to and what you don't pay attention to. It's sort of when you meet people. Sometimes the right people for your life are right in front of you, but you don't notice them until a certain moment where you see each other. And I mean really see each other. And by seeing each other, I mean that you notice who the other person really is to you. Because you may have a different group of friends, other people may have a different group of friends. Well, there is a moment when the connection takes place. And when it takes place, you cannot undo it.
A birthday card for Jack without the celebration. His loved one.
Let me see who was that. Oh, okay. Uh, is this Cheryl being all smiles? Who's this woman, by the way? Fill me in, dudes. Somebody pointed it out already. I don't know who this is, but I think this is. I don't know who she is. Somebody told me before. I know.
His loved ones say they wish they were having cake instead of a vigil.
Jack's fifth birthday. It's something that he should be here to celebrate in person. We shouldn't be where we are. So it's.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also interesting that Haley is coming with her, huh? Because Haley said before, I don't know. Cheryl is, she wasn't even really friends with Malaya before. But these types of people, they have this, you know what? There's a lot of people hooking up with each other who don't like each other. You see them like a team together. And even behind the scenes, the types of people that insert themselves into the case, they don't really, many of them don't like each other at all. But they seem to benefit from each other somehow. Or she's benefiting from being a part of this group. And they came together, I'm sure. They live in the same area. Do you really think Haley planted the blanket? Does she seem like that type of person? Let me ask you this, why would they want to frame Daniel if they already thought it was him who did something, unless you want to believe Durwood? Let's make it very, very clear, guys, because you cannot travel down five different roads at the same time. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And that's why there's so much confusion. And that's why I'm limiting what I'm talking about, because I see so much that makes so little. One so called creator even said the five top theories. And that's when I realized that's when I lost all respect for her, because I already tried to tolerate the waffling around, the idiotic theories, just creating content, if you will. Create content. These people have nothing to say, nothing important. And people bite the bait. On the one hand, oh, Malaya must have handed the kids over to somebody and they're alive and well. And the next day, oh, they're dead because pain and sorrow. And because, what was it, the night before, one of the worst nights, and then suddenly they mix in the things that I've talked about 8, 9 months ago. All of a sudden, they make it sound like, and they use it in their title, one of the worst. I brought that up 8 months ago, and these people, these plagiarizers, try to make it sound, and they watched my channel back then. They try to make it sound like they came up with it. And you watch them, and you travel down every single road that they take you. Today the kids are dead, tomorrow they're alive on the reservation. Oh, now they're in a mine shaft. But, oh, by all means, never talk about the ocean. As we will learn more, if somebody, since they all come together to try to keep people from listening to me, because they're threatened by me, because they know they have nothing, do me only one favor. If anybody in the future says they always knew the children were taken to the ocean, make sure to let them know who said it.
very important that we had the time to do this.
This is my birthday promise to Jack.
So the fact, let me say it like this. This is a vigil. And at that moment, it doesn't matter who is there with whom, who's friends with whom, who said what about whom. Meaning, Daniel is there. He's there with Haley, who accused him of doing drugs. Drugs. It's very hard to do statement analysis when you yourself have to censor what you say. Ooh, this is uncomfortable. Substances. Very uncomfortable. And very easy to get lost too in your own language, right? If you say something you don't mean. Like, how do you mean the word drugs or mathematics? How ridiculous. You know, I need to say the word math, drugs. You know, don't do them. I'm not promoting it. I'm talking about an event that already took place that is connected to the actions, possibly, of abusing a certain substance. And in this case, on a regular basis, and he thinks it doesn't impact him. I knew people who thought alcohol didn't really impact them, but well, then they died at 59 or 58 or something like that. Here we have no animosities. Those who know something and don't want to speak, they're really quiet. Logan and Daniel are really, really fitting themselves in. And they know their place, of course. And in this moment, I believe Daniel. I believe every word he says. I wouldn't miss this for the world. I believe him. I believe Daniel Martel actually wanted to be here at this vigil. I do not believe that it was a publicity stunt. Even though it may have started out with this in mind, also on Logan's part. But you know what? Logan also, I believe she changed the way she was looking at the camera. Maybe she didn't want to be seen without makeup. I don't know. Who knows? There's a reason Cheryl, Daniel, and Logan didn't volunteer to speak. Well, of course, they're not blood relatives, but they wouldn't speak here. You know why? Because this is a situation that is a lot more dangerous. This is why I always say when you interrogate somebody, you do not want to be accusatory, because you're giving somebody an excuse to be on the defensive. And I may not be able to tell whether or not this defensive stance indicates guilt, because other people who are not guilty, they would also be defensive if you said you killed Jack and Lily. If he is truthful at verbatim, which I don't think, what did police say to him exactly? Well, if it was along those lines, I can tell you that's not the approach. Because even if you didn't do anything, there's a good chance you're going to stand up for yourself and say, what you say? What the hell are you talking about? I did what? And this is the honey that catches the bees, not the vinegar. This coming together for the children. In the name of the children, people. In the name of Jack and Lily. Here, everybody is very quiet, somber, and recognizes the two lives that some of them know have been lost.
Every step is a prayer whispered to the wind, a hope that a search may help our hearts to mend. We hold steadfast to pictures of Lily and Jack, seeking answers to bringing them back.
About 40 people gathered outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment to hear
Who is she, that woman?
poems,
By the way, he knows.
speeches, and shed tears for the two young children,
That's real.
all while holding on to hope.
Both of them deserve better.
She knows more than she's saying, but this is real. Both of them deserve better. What do you know? And Cindy Murray won't talk. Not even to wait. Not even to wait, people. Not even to wait.
We deserve answers.
They?
They need to be brought back home safe.
Look at her. She cannot contain herself.
It's been 6 months, too long.
This case has truly affected many, as is demonstrated here this evening.
First time since
Wow, this is Logan? Really? I wouldn't recognize her. I did not recognize her from the Facebook pictures. Not at all. I think you recognize their faces.
May, loved ones from all sides of the family came together.
Mm-hmm.
Tensions have been high since the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, left her boyfriend, Daniel Martell, at the search scene the day after Jack and Lily disappeared.
I didn't miss the first vigil, and I would definitely not miss this one. Definitely not.
Did he say I didn't miss?
Jack and Lily disappeared.
I didn't miss the first vigil, and I would.
Yeah, we saw you there. And well,
Definitely not miss this one. Definitely not on Jack's birthday. It's an important date for everybody over the last 6 months, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
do you believe him? In this moment? I do. You know why? There are different sides to everybody. And we need to look at what exactly took place.
Brooks Murray did not attend the vigil. Her family says she quietly marked Jack's birthday with her mother, and gifts from the vigil would be delivered to her. The children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, says she appreciates the outpouring of support.
People have beautiful hearts, and I know if we give them a chance, everybody can help. Everybody can help, and everybody wants to help. So I think this is beautiful.
Angela.
Well, some people also have agendas. And don't let their agendas and your association with them alienate the good ones. Just a thought.
Pay any attention to him because thought he was telling the kids to get into the house. And besides, Jack lets my chickens out. And I let
Jack lets my chickens out. This is present tense. This is ongoing. This is a complaint about Jack. She knows he's no longer alive and she still complains. Jack lets my chick. This is victim blaming going on. This is hardcore victim blaming. Jack does this, Jack did that. Not Jack. A couple of times, this 4-year-old, who may have been 3 or even 2 at the time, wanted to play with the chickens, and he moved things around, and a couple of them were able to get out, which is not that big of a deal, because I got them back in. And I should have fixed this chicken coop anyways, but I didn't because my whole property is a shithole anyways, and all I do is talk and not do anything about it until, oh, what happened with the fence, by the way? Please talk to me about the fence and the swings, and please do not say watch this video or watch that video. I tried 6 months ago to watch a couple of these videos and I couldn't get through it because the reasoning and the things that were said and the waffling around, it was unwatchable and unhearable. It didn't get to the point. I do not watch videos where people are trying to make something stick and don't get to the point. It usually indicates they do not have one. So please tell me in your own words. Use it as a let's practice. Why you think, what you think is important, and let's keep it very logical here so that anybody able to read it will be able to comment, and we are only at the facts. Do not mention names of other of the so-called creators out there. I want you to tell me in your own words, as I do not mention their names right now either. And besides, Jack lets my chickens out, and I let
my chickens out at 7 o'clock that morning. So,
okay. Jack lets your chickens out, so he didn't do it that morning. So why are you speaking in present tense?
Jack has a habit of going around, moving stuff, and the chickens
Again, this is doubling up on victim play. He has a habit, ongoing.
get out underneath the pen.
Again, this is what Jack does. This is who Jack is. We get it. We get it. We get it. He brought it on himself? Is that what you're trying to say?
So I thought he was yelling at him about the chickens. We've been saying that from the beginning. She only made one interview.
This is scripting, people. We've been saying this from the beginning. She only made you and Daniel. You talked about it. She's not here. Let's get her. And then Durwood came by. And the bright idea was, she's not going to say anything anyways. Malea's shutting down. Let's push some of it on her. And in that case, I didn't get a reliable denial from Malaya when she was asked about that claim. It wasn't worth her time. She didn't even honor it with a response because it was too ridiculous. That can also be the case. I'm certain if she was in a police interrogation, it would be a different answer.
Since that day when the kids went missing, she hasn't opened her mouth to anybody else.
Okay. How do you know that Malaya didn't open her mouth to anybody else? You cannot know. Why do you assume? Because nothing has happened to Daniel yet. Because in your mind, you're thinking, if she told people what really happened, the police would be at our door right now. That's how we know that Malaya didn't say a word. At least not to somebody who would repeat it to the authorities. I'm Mike the Man, and I can't wait to see you again.
There was a bench sitting here, or a sawhorse, it's over there, was sitting here. I was sitting on it, bawling my eyes out. I was crying because I blame myself for not getting up that morning to see the kids. Because if I would have got up, this would have never happened.
Okay, so there's Fluffy, right? But is that the real Fluffy? Is that the real dog? Because now I'm paying a little bit more attention to this. I want to know what dog was actually there. Oh, wait a minute.
So this is the patio.
This is the patio door
that Jack and Lily would have.
that Jack and Lily came out of. Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock, sat in there and had my tea. And then on Facebook, 7 o'clock, I get up, I'm over here, fed my chickens.
In front of helicopters running, now that Janie's got a rank, Fluffy's never gonna be the same. Why was she so concerned about the RV searching? Or was there something else hidden in the background lurking? How did she know where everything took place? She can lie all day and keep a straight face. Haley and Belinda remember a different dog. That's now been removed and deleted from the call log. She goes on and on about Tucker's barking, but Fluffy was quiet through the CBC's talking. How would this have stopped if she'd just gotten up? Was she raking the drive to remove the blood? Why does she look for support for her hate of Lily screaming? Drifting in and out of sleep, it is Janie who's dreaming. What if Jack ran into trouble inside of the house? And when D&M realised they sent Lily out, and when Lily started screaming, she turned a blind eye. She knew Tucker was dangerous, but she let him walk by. Piece by piece, the puzzle is revealing its picture. It's contained in the language and without conjecture. I put my Platts goggles on and examined the info, and I let the words take me wherever they would go. I watched the dots connect up to a new possibility. Tucker caused harm to precious young Lily.
My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said no. I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, a dog started barking, and the kids were out in the yard. Now, you can see there's two swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played. That's where I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If two kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack and Lily. I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily to be in the house.
In front of helicopters running, now that Janie's got a rate, Fluffy's never gonna be the same. Janie's BS is confusing the story. Her claims of knowledge are banal and boring. And what about the cars of the Pipeline Boys? Haley said Chance's car made a lot of noise. And it was black, maybe 6 speed explains a 5. Didn't need gear 6 on that fateful night. Even Haley's story keeps chopping and changing, protecting Malaya by rearranging. Did she see Danny doing rugs in the bathroom? She's trying to walk it back, but her words leave no room. Did Danny really hear the kids getting marched out the front? Was her search in the woods just a PR stunt? Is she the dumbest person alive in this world? She believed that her lies will never unfurl. Doing Facebook Lives, this has gone beyond silly. Not a nice word to say about Jack or Lily, the bitter old angry trite hillbilly. If Jack and Lily were the focus of Janie's attention, I wouldn't write these songs, I would not need to mention that victim blaming is the trait of the family. As the truth burns a hole in her manifest destiny, she obstructs the justice and becomes an accessory of 2 missing children long after the fact. She has made a choice from which there's no walking back.
So, the next thing you know, I was come out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about, I'd say, 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing. Right here, with Meadow on her hip. And I come out, and I said, what's up? She said, Jack and Lily are missing. I said, how long? She said, about 20 minutes. I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Right up here.
So this is the dog that we have been seeing. A little black and white dog. This one seems mild-mannered. So did she have a different dog before that was really, really aggressive? Meaning a dog that right now, if he was there instead of this one, would be almost on attack of the intruders in the house, because I don't see this one being, you know what I mean?
And so tell us why we've heard about the patio door.
Because everybody's saying on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok that the patio door makes a noise.